Playing betting, feeding, and promoting the business of betting is a punishable offence. Therefore, we strongly oppose the illegal black business of betting and also appeal to the government administration to curb this illegal business of betting. Video is for educational and recreational purpose only. Do you want to live your dreams? Do you have the courage to fight the battle with luck and the courage to win by luck? Well, if your answer is yes to all such questions, then I welcome you for today's story. It's a common saying that Mumbai is a city of dreams. Sometimes some dreams are fulfilled here, sometimes some dreams are shattered. In this city, whosoever's dreams are fulfilled lives like a king, and then those whose dreams remain incomplete, they return back to their homeland. Mumbai is called Maya Nagari because it is the city of dreams. Everyone comes here to fulfill their dreams, and it is just here. The glare here gets her under control. Then, whether the dreams are fulfilled or not, he finds some place in his home. This is Mumbai, and here the dreams come true to those only who keep their eyes open. In India, the practice of gambling has been going on since the times of Ramayana and Mahabharata. It makes sense to bid in a game, but making games for bidding is the piece of today's story. Astragali took the place of dices in the Buddha period. By the 10th century, bidding had become an integral part in the life of people of India. From the battle of the henchmen to the race of horses to humans. In 1848, the Chicago Board of Trade (CBOT) was established. By the 19th century, the futures trade in India used to be very active in the Marwari business community. Many families made their fortune in the opium futures business in Calcutta and Bombay. The futures market was first established in 1875 by the Bombay Cotton Trade Association to trade in cotton contracts. This occurred soon after the establishment of trade in cotton futures in Britain, as Bombay was a very important center for cotton trade in the British Empire. It is said that no business is greater than a man's courage. The smuggling of gold, along with many illegal trades, was in full swing in the early 1950s. Even the common man could not be saved from the clamor of those businesses, and then the betting started in Bombay, which was a figure of numbers or was a gamble of numbers from 1 to 9. However, it started before India's independence. In earlier days, it was known as Ankada Jugad. Matka was also known as pot gambling before independence. By the decade of the 1960s, it was named as Matka or Satta. The Matka lottery was first started by Kalyanji Bhagat. Bhagat introduced the Varli Matka in 1962. It was further revised to New Varli Matka by Ratan Khatri. Kalyanji Bhagat was an ordinary farmer from Gujarat who moved to Bombay in 1941. Kalyanji Bhagat used to work at a grocery store in Worli. Core of the game, betting, was made at the opening and closing prices of the cotton, as was broadcast from the New York Cotton Exchange to the Bombay Cotton Exchange. It is said that if you will care about the way, then you will never be able to reach your destination. And with this thinking, Kalyanji invented the Matka gambling game. Kalyanji invented the Matka gambling game. In this game, people were asked to bid on the starting and closing prices of cotton. Kalyanji started gambling in Dhanji Street, where many people started betting on cotton rates. Gradually, it became a major center of speculation as bet money was increased. With the change of time, international people also joined this game and used to deal millions of punters and with billions of rupees. The textile mills were flourishing in the city of Mumbai, and the workers attracted towards Matka grew rapidly. This growth prompted the bookies to open several shops in and around the areas where the mills were present. And then came into play Ratan Khatri, who modified the rules made by Kalyanji. Ratan modified the rules by drawing 3 cards from the deck of cards and deciding the winning number for the day. It was considered more real than Bhagat's gambling method. 1970s was coming to an end. In those days, Ratan Khatri had called a press conference to open the pot in the main market. At that time, Ratan Khatri called journalists in a shop and said that he has started a new series of gambling from today. It will be called Matka. Matka because the cards will be put in the pot from ace to the 10. Card number 10 shall be considered as 0. 3 cards shall be drawn from the pot. Those cards shall be the figures of that day. This easy gambling method made Ratan Khatri famous all over the country in a few days. He played the figures very honestly and started distributing the winning amount to the people. Satta Matka became a gambling den in the central Mumbai city. Even though Matka started in the 60s, it was at its peak during the 80s and 90s. Ratan Khatri used to give figures. He took the throne of Matka King by turning the 12-digit Worli market to 0 to 9 numbers into a simpler and better Matka market. Kalyan Gambling, which was run by Kalyanji Bhagat, ran from Monday to Saturday. The same Mumbai Matka, which was run by Ratan Khatri, ran from Monday to Friday. The results of Kalyan Jua and Bombay Matka used to come out in two parts, open and close. The results of the Kalyan Jua open were declared at 4 o'clock in the evening, and the results of the Kalyan Jua close were declared at 6:10 pm in the evening. For Matka, the decade of the 80s would be called the golden decade, when the business of Matka used to be done sincerely and honestly. As the 90s approached, competition began in Matka and the interference of the underworld made the Matka operators greedy. The murders began to take place to capture the throne of the luscious pot market. In such situation, with the help of Arun Gawli gang, Pappu Hiraji Savla captured the Matka market of Ratan Khatri. After this, Pappu Savla completely changed the way of playing game of Ratan Khatri to increase his profits. During Bhagat Khatri's working days, 3 people were called who were passers-by on the road and were asked to pull 3 cards, and the figures were opened in the middle of everyone. This was the most excellent exercise to maintain trust through transparency. It has been seen many times that if Ratan Khatri was in a film party, he used to take out a new deck of cards from the pocket, removing the jack, king, queen, and joker, and ask the film stars to pull out 3 cards to make the figures open. His men would then immediately tell the bookies from there. Technology now uses computer databases instead of humans to extract the cards. Now no transparency factor is there and the credibility of the Matka market has been questioned. Advent of technology brought lack of trust, which paved way for lack of transparency. Lack of transparency slowly brought many players in the market and gave many options to the betting common man. Pappu Savla opened the main market figures on his own. Transparency was over, which led to loss of trust and credibility. Pappu Savla decided that a full database of the amount charged for open and closed bidding would be put in the computer. Figures showing the bid with less money will be opened because it will benefit him more. Ratan Khatri would always open Matka figures from a place where at least 3 phones were present. As soon as the figures were opened, his men would call the 3 largest bookies of the country. Phone calls were made from them to second-class bookies. There are around 500 Matka markets in the country. Of these, about a dozen are operating on a large scale, whose turnover ranges from 1 to 5 crore rupees every day. After the year 1990, the Matka game lost most of its players and people in India opted for a fast action game, mobile betting. But in the last few years, it is back in the game. Is gambling legal in any form in India? It is like solving a blurred puzzle. The more the question gets deeper, the more you think. Probably no one has the answer to this question in India, neither those who run the society nor those living in the society. In a judgment in July 2015, the Honorable Calcutta High Court exempted poker from being punishable under gambling laws. Rummy is allowed, but teen patti or flash in Texas hold is banned. Horse race betting is allowed, yet cricket betting is prohibited. Different states have different regulations. 7th schedule to the Constitution of India, which expressly empowers the states to formulate policies related to gambling and betting. It is quite clear in 7th schedule entry 34 list 2, which states that states can legalize gambling should they choose to do so. 13 states have legalized lotteries and 2 states, Goa and Sikkim, have legalized many other forms of gambling. Casino playing in Goa is legal. Gambling is legal in Sikkim. Sikkim became first Indian state to legalize internet gambling. Internet gambling is a truly global business. Although the central government has no jurisdiction over UK licensed bookies who operate legally under European and international law, they have taken some action. Betway is a Malta based company. They have customers globally. Betting site is available in many languages and currencies, including the Indian rupee. All cyber activities or online gambling in India are regulated under the IT Act 2000. Punishment of people indulging in such activities will be fined 1 lakh rupees or imprisonment up to 5 years. It is said that the pack of card is worth 20 rupees, but the bets played on it are of millions.